From unable to find a publisher to winning the Pulitzer of Comedy, Terry Fallis has been there, done that. Hi, I'm Rebecca Brayton and welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're speaking with this first-time author about his book, The Best Laid Plans. The Stephen Lilycock Medal has been described as the Pulitzer of Comedy, and you have won it on your first time out. Tell us about that.
This novel was initially a self-published novel. I couldn't find an agent or a publisher, and part of the exercise in building a profile for the novel was to submit it to a couple of awards, and just on a lark I sent 10 copies up to the Lilycock committee in a way just to make sure I'd have 10 more readers. And I happened to be in this very city, Montreal, on business the day the shortlist was announced. I did a little Google search for the Lilycock Award, and there was one lonely news story from the Aurelia Packet and Times saying that the shortlist had been announced. I clicked on the story. I didn't even have a chance to read the story because my eyes went to the photograph, and it had the head of the jury standing in front of this board with 5 book covers and headshots of the authors, and I saw the cover of my novel there, and once I regained consciousness, I started to celebrate.
Tell us about the struggle to write this book and get it out there to readers.
I'm an engineer by training, so I was quite methodical in laying out the novel because I didn't really know how to go about doing it. So I outlined it, I had chapter notes, and it was quite mechanical actually. When you think about it, I decided I wanted to write a 100,000-word novel because that was a 300-page novel, and there were 2 parts in the story, so I'll have part 1 and part 2, and then I'll break it up into chapters. The actual writing, when I had that groundwork already done, didn't take as long as I had expected. It took me about 10 months of evenings and weekends to write it, and that's when I started passing it around to agents and publishers. I wanted a few rejection letters at least to put on my wall. I didn't even get rejection letters, I just got silence. It's a very tough time in Canadian fiction to try and break in. So I podcast the novel for free, chapter by chapter, and apparently people started listening, and their responses were very gratifying.
Do you have any advice for aspiring writers, or at least words of consolation?
There are opportunities there to explore some of these new tools of getting your message out that will take you beyond the traditional route of just pounding the pavement and trying to find an agent. Luckily, that seems to have happened, and I feel like the most fortunate writer in the world that I haven't really paid my dues yet as a writer. So I think I've exhausted my lifetime allocation of good fortune, but I'm very grateful.